We are going live. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Whoa. I just heard a beep.
We're about to go live. If you can hear us, just hit that heart button. Leave a comment below where you're coming in from. This is our fifth AFC Quickie, and we have a lot of really good stuff. Are you ready, April?
We're about to whip it out.
Whip it out. Let's go.
Goods. Show you the goods.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another AFC Quickie. I am Gary, also with the lovely,
Apryl Schlueter.
yes, and we're all about bringing you just the tips that will help you get more done while having more fun. And this week is another exciting one that we're going to cover. We're going to be talking about building momentum, and it's all about keeping things moving. And what are we going to say, April?
I said boom. That's all.
Boom! Heck yeah. So we have three awesome ways that you can build momentum in your work. And like I said, sometimes we feel a little stuck. If you can relate, leave us a little yes, that's me in the comments. Hey, I believe Wendy's watching. Hey, Wendy. Yes. Anywho, so we're going to be talking about getting momentum. So, three tips. So we should just jump into this. If you follow them, will help you get started and build that momentum, which will turn into a big snowball of energy, and you can get more done while having more fun. So, first one, reducing activation energy. So, if you're not familiar with what activation energy is, activation energy, as humans, we either like to go towards pleasure or away from pain. And if it's something that maybe you dread doing for whatever reason, maybe procrastination's kicking in, maybe you just don't feel confident enough, the easiest way to get started and then starting that momentum is to reduce activation energy. And I first learned about activation energy when I read Sean Acor's book, Before Happiness. He's the author of, was it Before Happiness? And what's his first one, April?
Was it the Happiness Advantage?
Thank you. The Happiness Advantage. And he has a whole bunch of other stuff. He talks about the psychology of being happy. And he said it like this. Imagine that you wanted to start playing guitar, but it's not something that you normally do regularly. And so there's probably a lot of things that are some angst that are keeping you from getting started. And so the easiest way to do that is reduce all sort of things that will keep your brain from stopping you. And so if you want to play the guitar more, where could you put the guitar so it could be at arm's reach? April, is your guitar on your desk?
It is right here.
Look at that.
That wasn't even intentional.
Yeah, exactly. So April is learning how to play the ukulele, and look, her ukulele is right there. So if she wanted to do it, boom, it is right there. And by reducing the activation energy, you are going to be more likely to get it done. And so for me, I think it was about 10, 15 years ago, I told my mom that I would go with her to spin in the mornings on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And those of you who know me personally know that I am someone that goes to spin religiously Tuesday and Thursday at 5:30 in the morning. Now, in the beginning, that was really challenging to do. Like, think about that, like getting up at 5:30 in the morning, especially, granted, I have no excuse. I live in Southern California. Even when it's cold, it's not really that cold, but still,
It's degrees. It's cold.
it's still cold, and it's still early, and of course, like those are all those excuses that go through your head, like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna wear? It's cold, and you hit the snooze button, and before you know it, you don't go. So what I did is I literally still do this. You can ask my wife. It is Monday night or Wednesday night. I go to bed. I have right on the foot of my bed, I have my gym shoes, my socks, My gym bag is all ready. My outfit is right there. So when my alarm goes off, boom, I get up and I get dressed, and like I literally just go, go, go. And I still do that. And I reduce the activation energy so my brain doesn't have a chance to think about it. So that's the first one, reducing activation energy. Apryl, anything on that?
No, I totally agree. And I think having things in easy reach, and that's going to go into tip number 2, is going to really help you just remove all barriers and excuses. Because I think that the problem with momentum is the fact that, it's really, really hard to like get a ball rolling in your life. I mean, you even think about like pushing a huge boulder, right? It takes a while to get it moving, but
Mhm.
the key is to get it in movement so that it can kind of sustain. So, can I share
Yeah.
tip 2?
Yeah, let's go into tip number 2.
Tip number 2 is make it habitual. This is this is most particularly for things that you are going to do on a sustainable basis, right? And I think there's a lot of brain space that goes into what is it that I need to do every day. And if you figure out a way to make it habitual, meaning find the same time to do it every day, or if it's a weekly habit, figuring out some sort of routine so that you can remove the idea of having to just having to think about it and going a little bit into autopilot. That's going to help you keep that momentum going. So
It's
I know
4:30.
this is super, super silly, but I've got a daily routine that, I don't do everything every day, but the fact that I don't have to think about, what are the things that I need to do? Did I do them? I just have it on a list. And it is something that I have to check off every day. And I try to keep all of my appointments that I do on a regular basis to happen at the same amount of time. So I kind of just know, oh, this is when I need to show up. And it keeps my momentum going. And I can really get things done. So what about that, Gary?
Yes, I agree 120%. And if you think about it, if you make it a habit, when it becomes a habit, you just do it and you don't have to think about it. There was an article that was talking about the traits of some of the top successful people out there. And they were talking about people like Steve Jobs. They talk about Mark Zuckerberg, Barack Obama, things of the likes of that. And they say they reduce the amount of decisions they have to make because things are just a habit. Once things become a habit, you can just do it. And if you start with reducing activation energy, that will allow you to make baby steps. Now you're starting the snowball, you're making it a habit. So now you're getting in the mindset of being consistent with it. I love that. And then that flows nicely into the third tip, which is reward yourself.
Woohoo!
Woohoo. Let me just ask the question out there. When was the last time you rewarded yourself for doing stuff? And I just want to take a moment and say what's up to my girl Whitney. She's on there. My boy David. He loves how we talk about get more done while having more fun. Boom, boom, boom. Love that. But yes, rewarding yourself. Far too often, people save rewards for big achievements. Wow, I finished that project, reward time. I landed that client, reward time. But in the book, The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg, Charles breaks down what does it take to make a habit. And a habit's very simple. There's a trigger, there's a sequence, and there's a reward. Now, the reward, normally in habits is dopamine. Dopamine is that neurochemical that comes from your brain that tells you, like, yes, do more of that. Now, we can manufacture dopamine by rewarding ourselves because that is a signal to our brain that, yes, you did a good job. Do you remember when we were kids and just for like going to the potty by ourselves, we got a gold star and we loved it? Wasn't that awesome? Like, what could you do that is the equivalent of the gold star for doing that thing that was challenging? True, like, let's get real here. Some of the things I really hate doing is like things like expenses. Like Apryl knows all about that. She's going through some stuff right now, and it's challenging to get momentum with that. But I recently rewarded myself by just, doing, I think it was about 30 minutes of expenses. And then I allowed myself 10 minutes to just go around and just have some mindless fun doing nothing out in the sun, got some vitamin D and stuff like that. That was my reward. And then I came back in and did it again. What do you think about that, April?
Yeah, I mean, and I think it's funny that you say this too, because I have been talking all day about having to do this chakra balancing session that I did earlier today. And before that, I was invited to refrain from eating pretty much anything that I normally eat. And so I had to go do a appointment right after that, but I was like, when I am done, I am going to reward myself. So I have a bag of candy sitting waiting for me to ingest, and it just makes all of the effort, that even if it was a little bit hard, it made it all worth it. And so rewards are always great. And I think even from this whole Reiki session that I did, one of the things that came up is that I need to um, embrace, or I need to reward myself more. And so I was like, that's kind of interesting that's a tip that we were going to share today, because I'm like basically being told that I need to be more selfish because I'm so giving, I guess. But yeah, I mean, we should all reward ourselves. We don't always have to be giving to other people as well. So
Yes, agreed. Our girl Wendy, she rewarded herself by taking a PTO day, and she stayed in her PJs. She got a break for her family while they're at work and school. And Wendy just put on an epic event up in the Bay Area, the NorCal Sherm event. It was awesome. It was a symposium. I was speaking there, so she deserved it. So yes, rewarding yourself. And so yeah, those are the three.
yes. And just as a reminder, we are the ASC Success Team, the Accountability Success Circle. This is something that we are just sharing our awesome knowledge, just quick tips, usually 3, just to help you live more vivaciously, more vibrantly, get more done, accomplish awesome things. And if you want to learn more about our program, go ahead and check us out at the link that is in the video. So just trying to have more fun while getting stuff done, and building a community of people who know how to accomplish success without stress. Ooh, I just made that up.
Woohoo! Look at you, April.
Success without the stress. Yeah. All right.
Yes, exactly. So yes, if you like this, let us know in the comments. If you didn't like it, sorry for you. But if there's other topics you want us to cover, how can we, do that in such a playful way, so that we can get more done while having more fun? What challenges are you having? Leave it in the comments, and we will consider tackling that in one of our next quickies. So see you next time.
All right. We were in and we are out.
Out.
Peace.
Peace.